Hello, this is Daniel with a basic tutorial about how to move around in Windows. Whether you're using Windows Vista, Windows 7, or Windows XP, there are going to be several things that are very similar. You should see a taskbar at the bottom that will show you what programs are currently running, and then the Start menu over here on the left side. Once you click on the Start menu, you can get to a number of valuable places like the Control Panel or Computer. It was called My Computer in Windows XP, but now it's just called Computer. And that's where we're going to start our lesson. Go ahead and click on that. Often, depending on how you have your computer, there will be a My Computer icon on the desktop. We'll go ahead and maximize that so we can see a little bit more. The first thing you're going to be presented with is all of the drives that are on this computer. Let's go ahead and click on C, which is usually your root drive of the main disk in your computer. And in order to create a new directory, there are a number of ways you can do that. You can simply right-click. That brings up something called a shortcut menu. Then you can click New Folder. So we'll just name that My Stuff. From in there, you can do the same thing. You can right-click, click New again. And notice now that you're not on the root drive, there's a lot of other options as well, such as creating a new file. Let's say, for instance, you wanted to create a bitmap image. You can do that with Paint. Or if you wanted to create a text document, you can do that. We'll just call it My Text. Keep it simple. Press Enter, and your text document is ready to use. Now, using the right-click menu or the shortcut menu, you can do just about anything. You can cut and paste the file somewhere else, which basically moves it. Or right-click, just to a random directory here. Right-click, paste. You can do the same thing by using Control-X on the keyboard, and Control-V to paste. Control-C copies, so we'll go ahead and do that now. I'll press Control-C, which you can't see on the screen, but it's the same thing as right-clicking and clicking Copy. You can also press Alt to bring up a menu. Click Edit or press Alt-E to get to the Edit section. Click on Copy. You can see it even shows you the keyboard shortcuts right there. Control-X, Control-C, Control-V. Let's go back to the My Stuff directory. And we'll paste that back in. Well, it's really pretty simple to move files around within Windows. These same commands will work on the desktop as well. You click New Folder. Same for creating a new file, copying and pasting. Basically, anywhere you see files within Windows, you can use all these commands, even if you're within another program, like, say, for instance, Word. You click Open. You can actually right-click in there, paste. You can paste from within the Open File box or the Save File box or whatever menu you happen to have open. To delete a file, you can press Delete on the keyboard, which I just did, or you can right-click and click Delete. This is very basic stuff, but it's things that you're going to be using every day, and it's going to come in handy. So whichever method is the easiest to you, you should practice at it until it's just second nature. And when I come back, I'll show you how to do some of the similar things within the command prompt. The command prompt can be a little tricky for beginners, but it's really nothing to be afraid of, and it will become very useful throughout your computer career. To start command prompt, you simply click on the Start menu and tap CMD. If you're within Windows XP, you're going to have to click Run first and then tap CMD and press Enter. Now you're within the command prompt. I'll go ahead and maximize that. Now it's usually going to start you out in some directory other than your root directory. So the first thing I'll show you is how to get back to the root directory. The root directory is just the main directory on your drive that contains all of your subdirectories or folders or whatever you want to call them. So in order to change a directory, you simply type in CD, which stands for Change Directory. And there's a couple of shortcuts you can use with CD. The first one is ... which means go up one directory. Notice that I'm in C/users/twins. This should take me back to C/users, which it does. If you want to go all the way back to the C drive or the E drive or whatever you happen to be on, back to the root, I should say, tap in CD/. Press Enter. And you don't have to go individual, directory by directory. You can tap in longer things as well, like I can tap in cd users /twins, enter, and go all the way to the second level directory. So now I'll go cd / which is back to the root, demo. I'm now in the c/demo directory, which I have set up to show a few more examples of what you can do within the command prompt. Another useful command is the dir command, or some people just say dir, but basically it stands for directory, and it shows you what files are in that directory. If you look in this file list here, you'll see I have 4 files. I have file1.bmp, file1.txt, file2, BMP, and DXT as well. Now the reason I've given multiple instances of the same file name with different extensions is I'm going to show you how to use wildcards. Now you don't really need it in a directory this small, but if you have a huge directory, this will come in very handy. A wildcard is simply an asterisk, just simply referred to as star, and it basically stands for anything. So if you want to search for all text files, you could put dir star.txt, and that'll tell the computer to look for anything.txt. Let's see if that works. Yep, we have 2 of those files. You can also do it this way. dir file2.star, and this will search for any extension that happens to have the name file2. You can see once again we have file2bmp and file2.txt. You can even do it this way. dir file star.star. As you can guess, this will show anything that starts with file, has anything after that, and has any extension, which will give us all 4 files. Now, in order to delete a file, you simply type del for delete, that's del, and then the name of the file. You cannot recover a file easily if you delete it from within the command prompt, so keep that in mind. Notice there's no confirmation either, it's just gone. You can also use wildcards. For that, I could tap del star.star and clear out everything in this directory. But I don't really want to do that right now because I still have a few things to show you. I'll start by making a directory. Directory 1, so I tap MD for make directory. Then I tap directory 1, tap dir again. You see the top listing is directory 1, and it denotes it as a directory over here in the middle. Let's say I wanted to remove that directory. Same process, except you use RD. Stands for remove directory. I'll just type RD directory 1, and it's gone. Once again, you cannot recover that file easily. There are undelete programs out there, but they're iffy at best. In order to copy a file, first I need to create a directory to copy it to, so I'll make a directory, md copies, and I'll copy everything that ends with the .txt to that new directory. So to copy a file, you simply type copy, then give the source, which is going to be star.txt, and then the destination, which is going to be the copies directory. Gives us a confirmation we have 2 files copied. Now, if they're still in this directory, if I cd copies, dir, you can see they're in this directory as well because we made a copy. Now, if you want to move a file, it's the same process. I'm going to move star.bmp to that directory now. Once again, source first, then the destination. Dir, notice there's no BMP files left because they've all been moved. If I go to copies, dir, you see that the file2.bmp has been moved to this file, this directory. So you really shouldn't be afraid to try things in command prompt. It's often faster if you're doing networking. You're going to spend some time in the command prompt, and you can do just about anything you can do within the graphical windows. You can do it in the command prompt. You can rename a file. Once again, you start with a command which is ren, or ren. The source of the file, which I'll do file1.txt, and we'll rename it file3.txt. There you have it.